Are you a genius or just an ordinary person? Don't worry, even if you are ordinary, you can still look like a genius. I'm stupid, but I'm great at pretending to be smart. I'll show you how to pretend to be smart using one of Japan's most famous artworks, The Great Wave of Kanagawa by Katsushika Hokusai. This painting is one of the most well-known pieces of Japanese art. It's probably the most famous painting in Japan and is quite well-known worldwide. It depicts fishermen who have delivered their catch to Edo, now on their way home, encountering a violent wave. In the background, we see Mount Fuji, one of Japan's most iconic symbols. There are several reasons why this painting is so famous. The contrast between the overwhelming wave that seems ready to crash down and the small distant Mount Fuji. The dynamic movement of the waves versus the stillness of the mountain. The claw-like shape of the wave, which can only be captured with a high-speed camera. The sheer power of nature and the helplessness of humans in the face of it. This is already enough to explain why this painting is amazing, but why not use it to fake smart? I've personally used this method to make people think, wow, this guy seems pretty smart. Let me share with you the techniques I've used many times in my life. The key is shallow knowledge combined with a confident attitude. First, do you know what geometry is? Geometry is a branch of mathematics that studies the properties of shapes and spaces. Even if I hear this definition 100 times, I still don't quite understand it. Math terms always give me a headache. But that's exactly why they sound impressive. If you don't know, just act like you do. Draw two diagonal lines across the painting. Then using the bottom left corner as the center, draw an arc with a radius equal to the painting's height. The intersection points of the diagonals and the arc perfectly align with the tip of the wave and the peak of Mount Fuji. This composition makes it look like the wave is about to swallow Fuji, naturally guiding the viewer's eyes from the wave to the mountain. This is the power of geometry. It's what makes a small Mount Fuji stand out so much in this painting. Now, can you find another shape similar to Mount Fuji? It's a triangular wave in the lower left corner. By making the wave and Mount Fuji similar in shape, the painting gains a sense of depth and three-dimensionality. This too is the power of geometry. The painting also uses a golden ratio in its composition. If they ask, what's the golden ratio? Act surprised and say, you don't know about the golden ratio? A slightly condescending attitude will make you seem even smarter. I don't know much about it myself, but it's apparently the most beautiful ratio, roughly 5:8. Draw 4 lines based on the golden ratio across the painting. Then if you overlay a golden spiral along the cresting wave, it matches perfectly. It feels almost mathematically divine, doesn't it? And if you flip that spiral upside down, it also matches the curve of the waves beneath Mount Fuji. Beautiful, isn't it? The golden ratio. There are actually even more golden ratio and geometric elements hidden in this painting, but they are too complex to explain. Not saying too much is another important part of pretending to be smart. They might ask, is the golden ratio also a part of geometry? There's always someone who asks off-topic questions, right? When that happens, just respond with, good observation, good for you. Praise them as if you knew all along. Now let's talk about colors. This painting mainly uses shades of blue, creating a simple yet powerful aesthetic. Despite its limited color palette, it remains one of the most iconic artworks in history. Just mention that this blue-based color theme is called Hokusai Blue, named after the artist himself. There's no need to explain the exact color names. There are countless shades of blue in the world. Don't over-explain or you'll lose control of the conversation. Blue is just blue. They say things like, "This is valuable," or "This shading technique is inspired by Western Charlotte's law." Some people love using overly complicated words. When that happens, you can either sigh and say, "That's not the point," or you can nod and say, "Wow, you really know art." Adjust your reaction depending on the person. There are 3 boats in the painting. Fishermen who have finished their work and are heading home to their families. This scene captures a moment of everyday life, the coexistence of humans and nature's power. But you don't need to mention any of that. When pretending to be smart, emotional commentary is unnecessary. Just flaunt your knowledge with an air of superiority. Finally, an important detail. What's in the top right corner of the painting? That's right, nothing. This is another example of intentional composition. There's a unique beauty in leaving things blank. In Japanese, we call this wabi-sabi. If they ask, "What's wabi-sabi?" don't say anything. Just look disappointed. If they don't get it, it's their fault. I'm sure you all already know what wabi-sabi is, but just in case, it's a concept that Japanese people love. It values simplicity, tranquility, and empty space. But its definition is vague and hard to grasp. Honestly, I can't explain it well either. There is something more important than explanation. How was the video? I really love this painting. I made this weird video just to introduce this masterpiece. I have no intention of disrespecting the art, so please don't misunderstand. If you are interested, I encourage you to explore this painting further. The more you learn, the more you'll fall in love with it. And now, you are fully prepared to pretend to be smart. Sorry, I shouldn't have assumed. You are all intelligent already. So subscribe. Intelligent people act fast. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.